high intense mouth-watering clash is set to unfold. This is Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare, bringing you live action of this all-important plate segment game between St. Anthony's College taking on at Thurstan College. St. Anthony's College, of course, the hosts, and Thurstan, the visitors. And it is brought to you by, as I said before, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare. A lot in line for both the teams in this game. Both teams have won 2 each in the opening round, but St. Anthony's dropped points, which could have been carried into the plate segment when they faced Sri Sumangala 2 weeks prior. And not the momentum that they would have wanted coming into the second round, the Antonians. They were hoping that they could beat Sumangala after that splendid performance in the opening half, but in the second half, Sumangala came all guns blazing, and the Antonians had to lose that game. And before we talk about Thurstan, let's have a quick look at the conditions here. It's pretty much cloudy. A slight drizzle here at Nittawela. The current temperature is at 24 Celsius. Nothing much to worry about that. And the wind speed is around 14 kilometers per hour from the left of your screen towards the right. And of course, we may see some rain later on in the day, but we hope that the rain gods will stay away and doesn't spoil the fun that is up for grabs here at Nittawela. So these are the fixtures of Week 6 of Dialog School's Rugby League. Yesterday we had St. Joseph's taking on St. Thomas's up there in Colombo at CRNFC grounds, and most of them hoped it would be a very close encounter, but St. Joseph's won it quite comprehensively, 29 points to 15. And today we have some mouth-watering clashes along with this game, and Wesley College taking on Trinity at Havelock Park will probably be the game of the week. And then we have Prince of Wales College taking on DSN and Naik in the bowl segment at Air Force Ground. And also we have the game featured right on this feed, St. Anthony's College taking on Thurstan. And tomorrow we have 3 more clashes. St. Peter's taking on Zahira at St. Peter's College grounds. Isipatana taking on Royal College. Another very, very important game that will be played for a cup as well. And that will be played at Havelock Park. And Sri Sumangala College will be hosting Ananda College at Trinity College grounds, while Mahanama College and Kingswood and Lumbini College versus Science College will be the games that will be played on Sunday, the 7th of June. So coming back to Thurstan won 2 games. They beat St. Thomas's in that opening round, and that was some start for the season for Thurstan. They are with a lot of confidence, not the same side we saw in the previous 2 seasons. A lot improved, a much more confident side this is. So this will be a test for the hosts, and this is going to be some game here at Nittawela. Before we come with more updates and with more action, we will now go for a very, very short commercial break. On the other side, we'll bring you more action.
Rugby,
live rugby.
Prima Kotumi, Fantamai.
Park Avenue, long-lasting fragrance, unshakable confidence.
Pain can pause your active life. Get the all-new Move Pain Relief Spray for fast, long-lasting pain relief.
Now Rexona Sports Defense 72 hours order protection samagin pirimin සඳහාමයි.
හඳුන්වාදන Keys Crest Ultimate Crispy Chicken Experience එක. Crunchy කට ගැස්මකට Crispy Chicken Thai, Spicy Vibe එකට Spicy Crispy Chicken Strip, Share කරන් කන්න Crispy Chicken Popcorn, රස double කරන barbecue sauce සමග Keys Crest Ultimate Crispy Chicken Experience එක.
Introducing the 2025 TVS Apache RTR 204V.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
දවසම ෆ්‍රෙෂ් වෙන්න O3 Spirit and Freedom perfumed body spray.
Introducing new Air Action Mentos, the peak of freshness. Mentos, yes to fresh. Introducing new Air Action Mentos, the peak of freshness. Yes to fresh.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
අව්ව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි ඩෙටෝල් අයිසි කූල්.
ඒව හැල්ල බලන්න ක්ලාස් එකට go.
Black Night Go Pocket Perfume. Youth එකට go එකක්.
When the world says no access.
Or this is not for you.
And it can't be done. Just say, I can.
Pure, naturally healthy American water. Live more.
Let's KFC.
Making moments special. Most value for money from KFC.
එතකොට මහත්තයාරුනේ ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් ග්‍රවුට් වෝටර්ප්‍රූෆින් ස්කිම් කොට් නේ.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි? අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Rugby,
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotimi, Pantamai.
For passion, a competitive spirit. It's for the night owls, the hard workers. It's for those who do and want to keep doing. Right, real energy.
වාජ්‍ය සේවක ඔබට විශේෂී දීවනාවක් ඕනෑම ස්මාර්ට්ෆෝන් එකක් මාස 12න් ටික ටික ගෙවන්න ගන්න. අවම මූලික ගෙවීම රුපියල් 6550 සිට ඔබ ළඟම බාන්ස් එකට යන්න.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence. Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න. ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
Well, the skies have slowly opened up here at Nittawela. Right before the break, we suggested that it might rain later on in the day, but it has started raining quite earlier than expected coming, and it's not going to be a very easy game to watch, to play, or even to commentate on.
Yeah, there'll probably be a lot of knock-ons and set pieces coming in, and the Antonians will slightly favour themselves because they have a good forward pack. But the Thurstanites will hopefully be looking to replicate what they did against the Thumians in the first round as well. and it is really going to be a big game here as we take a look at the top point scorers of the league. Nimantha Sandeepa sitting at the top with 55 points, and closely followed by Amar Faisal of Trinity with 47 points, and the captain of Anand, Dinesh Chamuj, is at 46 points. He did not play 3 matches as well for Anand to start off the season, and surprisingly Sachin Tendulkar from Lumbini has 45 points as well. He has been the player of the season for the Lumbini team, and Mayank Dias sits at the 5th position with 44 points.
Well, Mayank Dias and Nimantha Sandeepa, Nimantha Sandeepa will have a big part to play tomorrow when Isipatana take on Royal. Now let's quickly have a look at the top try scorers, and Shenuka Pereira and Shan Altaf tied up with 7 tries. How often do you see a fullback with the most number of tries? And Shan Altaf, known for his point scoring, has scored 7 tries, and that shows what kind of a season Trinity is having and what kind of a season the skipper is having. And Hashar and Madugasge with 6 tries, Dinuka Jayasundara with 6 tries are tied up at the 2nd position, and St. Anthony's will have to look, or rather will hope that Dinuka Jayasundara could fire here today with the conditions given as well. And Netsan Mantosha with 5 tries, and Nivit Meunaka with 5 tries complete that list, started list that is. And as I said, Dinuka Jayasundara will have a big part to play, especially given the wet conditions. St. Anthony's will rely a lot on their packs, and Dinuka Jayasundara is the leader of that pack along with the deputy skipper Akesha Sampath.
And this is the points table of Group 1A, which finished the first 5 weeks. Trinity sitting comfortably at 30 points, and Isipatana 24 points, closely followed by Sumangala, who has 18 points. And they played against the Antonians prior to last week, and they won that match with a bonus point as well. That is why they sit at the 3rd position, and the Antonians in with 12 points. And DS and Lumbini went to the ball segment with 9 points and 2 points each.
Well, Trinity College leading that Group 1A, and this is Group 2A. St. Peter's ending up as the group leaders with 29 points, unbeaten, and that was a very close encounter against Wesley, which could have gone either way, but St. Peter's found a way to crawl through and end up in the top position, while Wesley College with 24 points are at the 2nd position, and they have a very crucial game today alongside this game against Trinity College. They have the chance to upset the apple cart. Will that happen? We'll have to wait and see. And St. Joseph's ended the group stage with 18 points and started off strong in the plate segment by winning against St. Thomas's yesterday at CRNFC rather, and Ananda College booked the final plate spot in the group, while Mahanama and Prince of Wales ended up 5th and 6th in the group. Mahanama with 6 points and Prince of Wales with just a single point.
And the group of death in the 3A segment, Zahira tied up at the 1st place with Royal 25 points each, and the game between Zahira and Royal, Zahira did manage to win, and Zahira lost against the Thomians. That is why they don't have that last victory, and the Thomians and Thurstan came to the plate segment with 22 points and 13 points apiece. And in the bowl segment, Kingswood did manage to win against Science, so they carried forward the points, and that ends the 3rd group.
Well, Kavint, had you look at the 3rd group, coming back before we talk about the cup segment, Trinity, Zahira, St. Peter's, Royal, Wesley and Isipatana are in that group. Trinity with 6 points, Zahira with 6 points, St. Peter's with 5 points, Royal with 2 points, Wesley with 1 point, and Zahira and Trinity will be eyeing to continue the momentum that they got from the opening round, and so does St. Peter's. Royal would have been disappointed to lose out points to Zahira. Again, another very close game that was, and Wesley and Isipatana yet to win a game as far as the cup segment is concerned. Now, coming back to the points of the plate segment, what I was going to tell you before, Kavint, was that that first game for Thurstan beating St. Thomas's, when you look back at the start of the season, they wouldn't have known that that game will be a very, very important game as far as points table is concerned, because they have 6 points now, and that proved out to be a very crucial win for Thurstan College. And St. Joseph's, of course, 2 wins, one against St. Thomas's yesterday as well, and Sri Sumangala beating St. Anthony's 2 weeks prior has helped their cause as well, and St. Anthony's and Ananda and St. Thomas has yet to get a win in the bowl plate segment rather.
Yeah, Thurstan and Anthony's will surely be looking to win today, because if they are to win the plate, they need to win this match, and they can't afford to lose any. As we see the bowl segment, Mahanama 6 points, followed by DS Senanayaka 6 points. DS Senanayaka played against Lumbini, and Mahanama played against Prince of Wales, and Kingswood did manage to win that last game versus Science, and that is why they have 5 points, and the top 3, Mahanama, DS Senanayak and Kingswood, have a big opportunity to win that bowl segment, while Science, Lumbini and Prince of Wales will be closely following this group.
Well, some of those teams in the bowl segment will be wanting to win the games and make sure that they retain their spot in the 8th segment. And with that note, we'll go for another short commercial break. On the other side, we'll bring you live action from Nittawela.
LG Dual Cool Inverter බයෝසමනයන්ත්‍ර 70%ක් දක්වා විදුලි ඉතිරි කරමින් රුපියල් 2,19,990ක් වැනි අදාහගත නායක තීමනාවකට අභාන්සුවීම පමණයි.
Introducing new Air Action Mentos, the peak of freshness. Yes, to fresh.
Nava Rexona Sports Defense 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Nava Rexona Sports Defense 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි. Nava Rexona Sports Defense 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි Dettol Icy Cool. අවුවත් එක්ක ඇති වෙන දාඩිය නිසා හැදෙන විෂ බීජ වලින් ආරක්ෂා කර ඔබේ ඇඟ 3 ගුණයකින් කූල් කරයි.
Built to withstand every season. Modern designs, elegant finishes, made to match your style. Alumex handrails, Sri Lanka's #1 and the most trusted aluminium brand.
Love Rugby,
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotumi, fun tamai.
Kitchen එක අබාස් කරන්නේ දැන් wife උත් happy එකේ ඉන්නේ.
Wife happy කරන්නේ. Kitchen එක අබාස් කරන්නේ.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Nava Rexona Sports Defense 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Love Rugby,
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotumi, fun tamai.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සාතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder. Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවුසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න. ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Abans fridge kiyanne. Abans fridge kiyanne. Bawlata harima fridge ekak. Abans family එකට හරියන අපේ රටේ fridge එක.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි. නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි. නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවුසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න. ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
Dawasama refresh when the train ekata go.
Night Go Pocket Perfume. Youth ekata go ekak.
All right, welcome back to this live action from Nittawela, and seems like Kavin, the game is set to kickstart way before the scheduled time, and this is the Antonian lineup. Their forwards consist of Shevin Netzer, Lavin Mantilaga, Alan Fraser, Muhammad Dubaid, the big name Tinuka Jasundra, the man with 6 tries, Muhammad Tanish, Joshua Gunawardena, and Chanidu Dharmadasa. And the backs will consist of Binar Vitanage, Ravish Gunawardena, Inosh Gunasekar, the skipper Vimukti Korikara, Habit Govindaraj, Yuhan Gunawardena. And this is the Thurstan lineup. Pasan Vihanga, Janga Karuna Singh, Kesar Tilakratna, Yehan Avanvitana, Kalana Kujana, Sanu Soisa, Ayodhir Singh, and Ruchira Ishan in that forward lineup, while the backs consist of Rashmika, Dinuja, Sehad Saleh, and the rest. As we are having a very early kickstarter here at Nittawela, and we are set and off.
As the flank taking the ball into contact, first contact of the game, as Saleh puts it to his brother. He takes the ball into contact, and as we kick off, the sun is shining very brightly. Just before kick-off, it was very gloomy, and we thought the conditions was going to be slippery, and it is slippery, but the sun is pouring down right now, as Thurstan have ball inside their own red zone. The Antonians with some good defense needs to release. Here's the scrum half, gives it to Saleh. Saleh puts the ball to boot, doesn't go out on the full, but collected, or rather knocked on by the Pereira, and it will be the first set piece of the game for the Antonians, for Thurstan rather, and the Pereira knocking the ball on early on, and from inside the 22 meters, it's an important scrum first up for Thurstan.
Well, I thought it was initially good pressure rush defense from the Antonians to keep the Thurstanites stuck in their own danger zone, and but that knock-on has given the ball back to Thurstan, and here's the scrum.
Rashmika from the back of the scrum gives it to Saleh. Saleh looks to run and gives it to the center, who makes a miss out of it, and that's another off-feet penalty in favor of Thurstan. Very lucky for Thurstan. It was good rush defense coming in from the Antonians, but off-feet is the call from referee Jeevaka Fonseca, who's acting as the match officials alongside Arunashant and Herath. Here you go, the number 12, that is Amidu Rajapaksha, making a mess out of it, but he'll give it out to Saleh, who'll put this out into touch and will take the first Rexona line out of the game.
Well, despite a shaky start, Thurstan have got their group back thanks to few mistakes made from the Antonian end, and here's the first line out through of the game. Janak Karuna Singh with the line out as well there, and here's Thurstan now on the move, trying to make their way into the Antonian half. Still a long way to go in this. For the Thurstan Knights have numbers on the outside, and St. Anthony's with a desperate chase brings the man down, but Thurstan are well inside the 40-meter mark here.
Advantage being played in favor of Thurstan. It was for an offside, and Thurstan have the second penalty of the game. This is the second time the Antonians have infringed, and it's Amidu Rajapaksha who will put this into touch and form another line out inside the 22 meters. After a good passage of play from the Antonians, they have drifted offside. There you go. That's the penalty being awarded to Thurstan, and Amidu Rajapaksha goes in right inside the 22 meters. Here's an opportunity whenever a team comes into the red zone of the opposition. They should go away with points, and that is exactly what the Thurstan Knights will be looking, as the Janaka Kumarasinghe overthrows it, but collected by the number 8. That's Sanul Soisa. Here's Rashmika. He feeds it to Saleh. Saleh tries to run and gives the inside ball to Rashmika yet again. Ball available. There's no scrum off. He's inside the ruck and gives it to the number 3, Kesara Tilakaratna. Takes the ball into contact. Rashmika to Saleh. Here's Amidu Rajapaksha, and he will probably score the first try of the game. First Amana Bank try of the game for the number 22, Nehad Saleh. Acting as the fly half. He's playing as the center, but brilliant work from Thurstan Knights to score first.
Well, proper use of the opportunities that came in the way of Thurstan. They've drawn first blood here at Nittawela, and St. Anthony's straight away will be under pressure. And they have no one but themselves to be blamed for the situation that they are in, because they started off well with the defense, but they just let things go with some silly errors.
It will be Nehad Saleh who will be attempting this goal conversion. Has the distance and probably the direction as well. Good stuff early on from Thurstan. It's a goal conversion put through. 7 points to nil with 5 minutes on the clock. Brilliant start from Thurstan. It was the number 12, Amidu Rajapaksha, who managed to get that goal conversion through. Here's the replay. Bisects the posts, and just like that, Thurstan 7 points up against the Antonians, who are playing at home.
An early wake-up call for the Antonians, going down 7 points to nil. They will have to do a lot of regrouping here. And
the Thurstan player, the wing 3/4, was Savindu Gamagale, letting the ball bounce, and it went out into touch, and hence it will be a Rexona line out in favor of Thurstan. It's the number 18, Janaka Kumarasinghe, who will be throwing into this 4-man line out.
here's Karuna Singh with the line out, and St. Anthony's have found themselves a winning back position here. And
high tackle penalty advantage in favor of the Antonians here. It was a good line out turnover from Mohammad Tanish for the Antonians picking it up in the air and getting an important turnover, as now the Antonians have possession. There you go, good work at line out time. It was a 4-man line out, hence the predictability was on the cards, and Tarnish doing really well to turn that over, as we see the number 3 Manthilaka feeding in, and this time the Thurstanites seems to have nicked it, and if the ball doesn't come out, it'll be a scrum in favor of Thurstan, but penalty advantage for not releasing and not ruling away. Correct decision by referee Jivaka Fonseca, and here's the Pereira who will put this into touch and probably form that maul which has worked for the Antonians in the first couple of games. Here's a replay of what happened. Off feed, not rolling away. The referee had no choice but to avert that penalty, as Manthilaka feeds in it again, and here's the maul, the dangerous maul from the Antonians. It probably is the best maul in the played segment, probably. And here's the Antonians at the back. It's Manthilaka at the back, still going forward. And here's Manthilaka, and Manthilaka will score. Oh, the whitewash. It was a lovely rolling maul that was executed brilliantly from the back of the scrum, and Lakwin Manthilaka goes in for the second Amana Bank try of the game and the first for the Antonians.
Well, it didn't take too long for the Antonians to get back on the board after conceding a try within the 5 minutes. 3 minutes later, they've found themselves over the whitewash, scoring the first try, and they do have the opportunity to equalize, as the Papare will be eyeing to get this ball through and get the first goal conversion for the Antonians. As the Papare lines himself up to take this conversion. And this game, as we predicted earlier, has started off in some fashion. 2 tries for both teams. The Papare eyeing to equalize proceedings, and early charge from Thurstan. Here's the Papare, and the Papare makes no mistake as he gets the first goal conversion for the Antonians, and it is 7-all here at Nittawela.
This is turning out to be a really exciting game. The Thurstanites scored first, drew first blood, but the Antonians have replied back with a outstanding line out maul, and over the whitewash. Thurstan couldn't really do anything about it. Even though the sun is coming down, there was rain earlier before kickoff, and the conditions are slippery, and hence the forwards will have to do the bulk of the work, as Saleh Amidu Rajapaksa restarts, this time collected by the number 11. That's Inosh Gunasekara, who takes the ball into contact, still on his feet, just inside the 22 meters, and hence they can kick this out on the full. And there again, the try scorer Manthilaka takes the ball into contact. This time the ball is outside, hence he can't kick this out on the full. Collected, but not really to the hand. It was a good kick, but failed to be collected by Theekshan Munasinghe and Thurstan. However, luckily have a line out in their favour.
Well, Thurstan wouldn't have been very happy after conceding a try right after them scoring. So here's a line out for them right at the 50-meter mark, as Karuna Singh takes his third line out for the day. One successful, one not successful. Here's the third one. The previous line out was turned over by Tarnish, who got a good hand to it. Here's a bit of halt in the game as the referees are making sure everything is perfect with the line out throw. Here's Karuna Singh. And he doesn't do well yet again. Overcooks it. Not the direction that he looked to get it. Here's the skipper, Kodikara. St. Anthony's with some space on the outside. Opts to go on his own. Gunawardhan might have just got the pass a bit too earlier there. Gunawardhan still holding on to position. St. Anthony's on the move now. This is a very, very crucial attack for the Antonians. The big man, Tinuka Jayasundara, with the carry. Brought down with Anage. Goes towards his left-hand side. Again, a bit more space for the Antonians. This is the second time that they've had space on the outside, but opted to go on their own. This time it was Tanish. Shevin Netsara being brought down. Thurstan trying to defend this, but the Antonians somehow finding meters, heading forward. Can they find the second try here? As Kodikara just not managing to hold on to that ball. And seems like the referee, Jivaka, has awarded the ball back to Thurstan.
Very rusty from the captain, Kodikara. If he had collected that, he had a man on the outside and he could have drawn in and passed it out. And this is the slippery conditions that is coming in. You can't play fast running rugby. You need to keep possession of the ball. But however, that's the third knock-on of the game from the Antonians. And it was the captain, Kodikara, as the number 21, Rashmika Dinuja, will be feeding into this Kawani scrum. And it's Dinuja. And the Antonians will probably give this to Nehad Sali, who's acting as the fly half. And they have the left wing 3/4 joining the line as well. Here's the fly half giving it out. Good work. And throws in a wayward pass. However, managed to keep possession is Thurstan. Numbers opening up wide. Here's Rajapaksha. He's put it high up and under. Here's Daham Pereira. But charging in front of the kicker is the Thurstan player. And hence the Antonians will have an important penalty right around 40 meters from the try line. And will be interesting to see what they do. Will they go for the 3 points or will they opt to go to the line out? Well, it looks like it's Daham Pereira who has the ball, and the Antonians have an important decision to make here.
Well, they probably go for touch because the last time they were in a similar position, they went for touch, and that is exactly what they are doing. They know that they have that strength in their rolling maul, and here's the replay of that infringement from Thurstan.
There you go, in front of the kicker. That is why the penalty was given to the Antonians. And it will be Mantilaka yet again to throw in. And it's a 6-man line out this time from the Antonians. Last time it was a 7-man line out, collected by Mohammad Tanish at the front and forms the maul. Isn't a rolling maul, hence it hasn't broken away. Here they go, the Antonians pushing ever so forward, and there will be penalty advantage coming in as well. Mantilaka breaks finally from the back of the scrum, but obstruction or a double movement is the call from referee Jivaka Fonseca. It will be interesting to see a replay of that, of what really happened there. But however, Thurstan have turned over position.
Well, two good opportunities gone in vain for the Antonians. One was this attempt through a maul. The earlier one was a good run that was made by the Antonians, which a better decision making could have been a try. And here's the replay of what exactly happened there.
There you go. double movement is the call from the referee, and it was a brilliant kick from touch find from Amindu Rajapaksha from Thurstan. He's gained around 30 to 35 meters with that kick itself, and it'll be the number 2 Tarindu Senaratna who will be throwing into this Thurstan line out. It's a 4-man line out at the back, at the front rather, and offside is the call, but good rugby IQ from the Antonians to not have conceded that penalty. Here's Amindu. He gives it out to Saleh. Saleh takes the ball into contact. Inside the 50 meters is Thurstan. Here's the ball being given out to the fly half. The big number 8 takes the ball into contact. Space opening up wide in this corner of the field. The big number 5, Kalana Kujana, takes it into contact. Here's Saleh giving it to Amindu. Amindu gives it to his brother. Space opening up wide in the corner, but knocked on and into touch. Brilliant work from the number 11 of the Antonians. Gunasekara, Inosh Gunawardhana rather, playing as the left wing. Inosh Gunasekara, the number 11. There you go, here's a replay, the number 15 giving it out wide to him, and that was Johan Gunawardhana, the number 14, who made a brilliant tackle, and hence the Antonians have another set piece in their favour, and it will be Mantilaka to throw in. Here's the fly half, gives it to Dinuka Jayasundara, who bumps off a couple of players, takes 3 men to bring him down inside the 22 meters, hence they can kick this out on the full, but doesn't go out on the full. Collected by the number 14, Samidu Gamage. He decides to give it to the fullback, who throws in a lovely cutout pass to the corner. That's a flanker who's playing as the wing. Here's Thurstan yet again. The number 8 takes the ball into contact. Ruchira Hishan is the player, but what brilliant jackal defense from the Antonians. I thought it was a wing 3/4 who turned it over. Brilliant work. He had all the right to the ball, released the player. He wasn't the tackler, he was the jackler, and he had all the rights to the ball, and just like that, the Antonians have another attacking line out, this time inside the opposition. There you go. Here's how it turned out. It was the number 1 from the Antonians, Shevin Netsara. Brilliant work at ruck time.
Well, good work in the last few minutes from the Antonian defense. First it was Johan Gunawardhana, who did ever so well to drag the player and make him drop that ball forward. And then it was the defensive piece a while ago. Mantilaka does well, but St. Anthony's somehow manages to hold on to position. Tarnish with a heavy defense from Thurstan was brought down. St. Anthony's will look to get this ball carried forward with their big forwards here. Here's Vitanage finding some space, but doesn't really get through there. Thurstan desperate to make sure that St. Anthony's doesn't gain much meters, but Dinuka Jayasundara has other ideas. He gets a good 3-4 meters in front, and St. Anthony's regrouping here, organizing their line, looking for that break. Pick and goes is the way forward for the Antonians. They are playing the patient game, and that is exactly what we need here. These are not the most easiest of conditions to play at. Quite a slippery field this is, and Kodikar has a man on the outside, but has been brought down. St. Anthony's looking for that small space which they can punch through. Here's the big man. Jayasundara gets the pass out to Mantilaka and knocked it forward. Could have been a very regulation take that for Shevin Netzer, but unfortunately for him, he just couldn't grab hold after that ball. Here's the replay. Doing very well there. Dinuka Jayasundara did well to get that ball out as well. And Mantilaga's pass wasn't a hard pass to take as well. So Shevin could have done a lot better there.
Yeah, he could have done a lot better. And it was not a hard pass. Came right in front of his chest. Should have taken it. But Thurstan will be really happy with the position. Here's the number 20 giving it out to Amidu Rajapaksha. This goes out on the full. And Thurstan have come away to the 50-meter mark with that kick. It was inside the 22 meters. Hence, he could have kicked it out on the full. And it was good work from the scrum half of Thurstan as well, Rashmika Dinuja. And now the Antonians will have a 5-man line out. And it will be Mantilaka who will be throwing into this line out yet again. Probably will find Mohammad Tanish at the back, because Tanish and Joshua Gunawardhan have been their regular lifters. Here's Mantilaka giving it out, and here's Vithanage to the fly half. Here's Gunasekara rather. He takes the ball into contact. Vithanage giving it out to his flank, the number 26, that's Chandinu. As Vithanage has the opportunity, ball available for him. Yes, the fly half gives it to Dinuka Jayasundara. He bumps off a couple of players, and still on his feet is Dinuka Jayasundara. Space opening up wide here. Here's the fly half. Here's the captain. He decides to take the ball into contact. Does Vimukti Kodikara. And here's Vithanage. Not a really good pass to him, but it went backwards. And Thurstan have turned things over. Brilliant work from the flank. And the Antonian player was isolated. That is why the penalty was correctly awarded.
How often have we seen this within these 24 minutes of play? Both teams are making silly errors, giving away possession to their opponents. And now Thurstan with a thumping boot gets play right besides that 22-meter mark. Gets some territory advantage there. Here's the replay of that. Wasn't the easiest passes to take, but he had no support coming his way as well. And didn't really have the opportunity to make that ball available. Karuna Singh with another line out through. He has been decent so far and overcooks it. But fortunately for him, there was another Thurstonite waiting for it from the back. Thurstan on the move just outside the 22-meter mark. And seems like they have won themselves a penalty here.
Penalty awarded for an high tackle. Correctly so, it was a seatbelt tackle coming in from the flank of the Antonians, as Amidu Rajapaksha will put this into touch inside the 22 meters. This is actually the third time Thurstan have entered the red zone of the Antonians. And when you enter the red zone, there you go, that's the high tackle. When you enter the red zone, you need to go with points. And it will be Karuna Singh who will be throwing in. This time he'll look to try and take it. And here's the maul. A maul of their own. Thurstan still going forward, going lateral, but at the back is Karuna Singh. And Thurstan now breaks. That's the number 2. Senaratna takes the ball into contact. Ball available for Thurstan. Now they will go for a fringe attack. Just 10 meters away. Exactly what is needed. And Thurstan with another fringe attack takes 3 men from the Antonians to bring him down. Karuna Singh, another good pick and drop. There goes Thurstan, ever so close. Just one movement away. Good defense coming in from the Antonians to hold him up. And Thurstan, one more attack away from the second Amana Bank try of the game. There again, Karuna Singh might have knocked the ball on. Very lucky for the Antonians. It was knocked on, clearly knocked on by the number 2, Tharindu Senaratne from Thurstan. And the Antonians will be breathing a big sigh of relief because Thurstan was inches away from the try line.
Well, I thought that was an interesting touch finder from Thurstan. He didn't look to get closer to the try line. He just wanted to put it out. Maybe, just maybe, he could have got more meters with the touch finder and could have caused more troubles for the Antonians. But nonetheless, the Antonians have themselves a scrum, a heavy scrum from Thurstan. But the referee has awarded the possession back to the Antonians.
A free kick. You can't shove past 0.5 meters in the school league. And that is why they have a free kick inside the 22 meters to put this out into touch. And if they do put this out, they'll have to give away position. And here's Mantilaka Vitanage quite smartly gives it to Mantilaka. And here's Vitanage inside the 22 meters. Now they can kick this out on the full. And Daham Pereira puts a huge up and under and takes play all the way back to the 40-meter mark. And the Antonians will be really, really happy because Thurstan was going to score the second. And it was their own mistake from the number 2, Tharindu Senaratne, who was a little too eager. Here's a look at the kick from Daham Pereira. And it will be the number 2, Tharindu Senaratne, who will be throwing in to this Thurstan line out. And it's yet again a 7-man line out. The referee holds play.
Unfortunately, we don't have audio visuals of the referee mic today due to some technical difficulties.
The referee wanting to have a word with both captains, probably because Thurstan in the last line out they said 4-man line out but had 5-man in the line out. That is probably why the referee wanted to have a word with both captains, as Tharindu Senaratne will be throwing into this Rexona line out, which is a 4-man line out, and crooked throw. Antonians will have possession back, but the referee hadn't said play on, hence the Thurstanites will be really, really lucky to get a second bite at this throw. The number 4 goes in, collects it this time. Good work at line out. This time by Thurstan, gives it to the number 7, that's Ruchira Hishan, who takes the ball into contact. There was a player not rolling, but the ball was available. Here's Saleh. Saleh gives it to his second centre, who knocks the ball on. The passes need to be a little slow because you have slippery conditions. Even though it's not raining right now, it drizzled and rained before kickoff, and the conditions are slippery. That is why they have a lot of set pieces and a lot of knock-ons as well. And this was a lovely wraparound pass. If he could have collected, there was a man on the outside and he was definitely in space. And this is turning out to be a really, really interesting game. 31 minutes on the clock, just 7 points all, as Vitanage feeds in, gives it to his centre, who throws in a backhand pass, and it's another knock-on. It's a forward pass that has been deemed by referee Jeevaka Fonseca. Here's a replay of what happened. Here goes the number 13 taking the ball into contact. Govinda Raj and giving his captain a hospital pass, which Vimukti Kodikara couldn't really gather. This is the second scrum of the game. There again, loose pass, not collected by Thurstan. Loses possession. Loses about 20 to 25 meters with just that loose pass. And here's the ball being given out. Good rush defense coming in from the Antonians. The Antonian defense has held really strong. And there again, another good rush defense coming in. Here's space opening up wide for the Thurstan. Wing 3/4. But however, here's the Papare. He'll look to run. Puts in a high up and under. Collected by Saleh. And good tackle coming in from his opposite number, the Papare. Fullback on fullback. And here's the number 21 giving it out to Amidu Rajapaksha, who puts in a cross kick. And collected by the Thurstanites themselves, but in trouble. They need to release. Good work coming in from the Antonians, and they have won the penalty. I thought the Antonian player came in from the side, but not releasing is the call from the referee, and correct decision as well. And the Antonians have an opportunity to, just before half time, to go into that 22 meters of the Thurstanites and probably get some more points before half time.
Here's Pereira with a very crucial touch finder. Takes play right close to that 22 meter marker, just before the brink of half time. St. Anthony's have found themselves with a very, very good opportunity. Here's the replay of that. Kavind, you thought that he came in from the sides. We'll have a clear look at it. Close call it is, but nevertheless, the referee has awarded the penalty to the Antonians. Here's Mantilaka with a very crucial line out throw as well. St. Anthony's didn't have that room to form that maul, but they still have possession. They will try to run this with the pick and goes and try to gain meters. Another penalty.
Penalty given. 4 feet. Hands on the ground. And not supporting his body weight was the Thurstanite player, as the Papare has an opportunity. And there again, he's not looking to go for distance, but he's trying to put this into touch wherever he can. And you pointed that out earlier as well, Kevin. And the Papare, I thought he could have got at least 5 to 10 meters more with that.
Exactly, Kavint. And that didn't work in the favor of Thurstan before. But let's see whether St. Anthony's make the same mistake again. This time, gets the ball, gets themselves in front.
Forms the rolling maul. Still on their feet is the Antonians. Slowly pushing forward, and going forward is the Antonians. Ever so close. Thurstanites somehow have managed to come in. And the ball will be available on the Antonian side. But Thurstan, the forwards have done really, really well. They've come in straight through that maul, and they've held the ball up, and it was unplayable. And hence the referee did not have any option but to award Thurstan with the scrum.
Again, Kavind might as well got more meters with that touch finder. Because this has been a very, very difficult game since that first 8 minutes. It was a thumping start to the game, but since the 8th minute, the teams have struggled to find a way to go over that whitewash. And so whenever there's an opportunity to win that territory advantage, to get closer and closer towards the whitewash, I believe you should take that, because the conditions are not the most easiest, and it is not going to get easy because it is very, very dark if you have a look at the overhead conditions here at Nittawela. So whenever the conditions are much easier, you should look to pounce on the opportunities that you get. And now Thurstan have a very important defensive scrum. Probably this will be the final play before the half time, so they wouldn't be taking any risk. We'll be putting this out, and that is exactly what they do. And at half time, it's 7-all, and we are in for stunning second half as far as how close this game will be. But I believe both the teams could have scored a lot more in this half had they done the basics right. So here's the confirmation of the halftime score. St. Anthony 7, Thurstan 7, a closely contested game. This is Thurstan did enjoy most of the possession, but St. Anthony's did have some opportunities as well. With that, we'll go for a very, very short commercial break. On the other side, we'll bring you action from the second half.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
Love rugby.
Live rugby.
Prima Kotumi Fun Tamari.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි ඩෙටෝල් අයිසි කූල්. අවුවත් එක්ක ඇති වෙන දාඩිය නිසා හැදෙන විෂ බීජ වලින් ආරක්ෂා කර ඔබේ ඇඟ 3 ගුණයකින් කූල් කරයි.
Introducing the 2025 TVS Apache RTR 204V.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Saratama enjoy karana party ekata go.
Night Go Pocket Perfume Youth ekata go එකක්.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සහතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවුසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
මාස 24ක් දක්වා ගෙවීමේ පහසුකම් සමගින් මාසික වාරිකයේ රුපියල් 4999යි. අබාන්ස් ජාතියේ පරිගණක සැපයුම්කරු.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
දවසම ෆ්‍රෙෂ් වෙන්න O3 Spirit and Freedom perfumed body spray.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවුසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
Let's KFC! Making moments special. Most value for money from KFC.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence. Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence. Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Love rugby.
Live rugby.
Prima Kotumi Fun Tamari.
Pain can pause your active life. Get the all-new Move Pain Relief Spray for fast, long-lasting pain relief.
එතකොට මහත්තයාරුනේ ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් ග්‍රවුට් වෝටර්පූෆින් ස්කිම් කොට් නේ
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස්ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස්ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
ගෙවන් යන්න ෆෝන්ස් ගන්න ළඟම ආබාන්ස් එකට යන්න ලොකු පොඩි හැම ෆෝන්ස් ගන්න ළඟම ආබාන්ස් එකට යන්න හොඳම ෆෝන් එකක් ගන්න ළඟම ආබාන්ස් එකට යන්න.
For passion, a competitive spirit is for the night owls, the hard workers. It's for those who do and want to keep doing. Right, real energy.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි ඩෙටෝල් අයිසිකූල්. අවුවත් එක්ක ඇති වෙන දාඩිය නිසා හැදෙන විෂ බීජ වලින් ආරක්ෂා කර ඔබේ ඇඟ 3 ගුණයකින් කූල් කරයි.
Black Night Go Pocket Perfume Youth එකට go එකක්.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස්ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස්ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සිහින විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
Well, a thumping opening 8 minutes, both teams scoring a try and converting it. And the next minutes, the next 27 minutes were nothing short of error-filled from both the teams. They had opportunities. They made themselves, or rather took themselves into good territory, but they just couldn't get the final touch. And now, a very, very crucial second half coming your way. Nothing to separate the separate both sides. 7-all it is at halftime. This was the first try, which was scored by Saleh for Thurstan, and it was converted. And Thurstan got onto a brilliant start, scoring a try and converting it in 5 minutes. And St. Anthony's didn't take long to equalize as Mantilaka went over to score their first try. And Pereira made no mistakes with this gold conversion. 7-all it was at 8 minutes. And since then, it has been a topsy-turvy affair here at Nittawela. A lot to look forward to in the second half, but I believe this is going to end up as a very low-scoring game. Could be a matter of 3 points separating the two sides. They will look to take all the penalties in kicking range, try to kick it through, because they know that they haven't found it easy to barge through the defense or find space or go over the whitewasher Kavint.
Yeah, and the result has returned as well, and it will be tough conditions for fast running rugby. Hence, the forwards will be the ones who will really make an impact. The Antonian forward pack has an upper hand against this Thurstan forward pack, who doesn't have much weight, but it will be an interesting second half as we wait for the referee to return. It's the match official, referee Jivaka Fonseca, who's officiating. He's had a good first half of play as well, and definitely for the Antonians, Lakwin Mantilaka, Mohammad Ubaid, Mohammad Tanish and Dinuka Jayasundara has really stepped up and played a good first half. And for the Thurstan players, it was all backs who did the hard work. Nehad Sali and his brother Ahad Sali has had a good game, and so had the number 12 Amidu Rajapaksha, who is kicking, who has done really well with the kicks as well. As we are all ready for kickoff, restart of the second half action. Kicks it high and deep, this time collected by the captain Vimukthi, and Vithanage gives it to Mohammad Tanish by the looks of it. He takes the ball into contact outside the 22 meters. The ball has been turned over. Good work at ruck time from Thurstan. Here's the scrum half, giving it to Saleh. Saleh gives it to Rajapaksha. Rajapaksha to the wing 3/4. Here's the number 13. He'll be bundled and not into touch. Thurstan inside the 22 meters of the Antonians, just like they started the first half. They have started the second half with stunning fashion. Here's Saleh. Lovely cutout pass to the wing 3/4, the hooker rather. And here's a wing 3/4 in space, still on his feet is the Thurstonite player available. Gives it to Rashmika. Rashmika gives it to his big number 3 player Kesara Tilakaratna. Ball available. Now they will go for another pick and drop. Ball available, and pick and drop is the way they will go forward as the rains return. As we see on your screen, there's a slight drizzle. Thurstan, if they can start the second half with a try, it will be really good for themselves. Here's Rajapaksha, just inches away and turnover. Brilliant work from the forward pack of Antonians. They have turned it over. I think it was Mohammad Ubaid who did all the hard work, and the Antonians, the Hamperera, have a penalty, Lumex penalty. They will put this into touch and probably form their maul. Just 2 minutes in the first half, in the second half rather.
Well, mighty please will be the Antonian defense to see that off. They were in danger of conceding a try early on in the second half, and with the rains falling, that try, had it been conceded, would have put Antonians in the back foot. Here's the replay. Brilliant work that was from Ubaid, doing ever so well to win back position, to milk a penalty for the Antonians. And Mantilaka wouldn't be the most easiest line out throws to take. The towels are around. It has been wiped thoroughly by Yakesh Sampath, who is not featuring in this game. A big miss for the Antonians. Mantilaka does well with Anage. Goes centre field. Here's the big man, Jayasundara. St. Anthony's are looking to find a way to get into that 50. Here's Pereira with the boot. A thumping boot. No one chasing it down. But St. Anthony's have territory advantage. Doesn't collect it cleanly, but falls backward. Fortunate for the Thurstanites. Still looking for some space here. This is a danger territory for Thurstan. St. Anthony's have got all their men in this Thurstan half, and that is exactly what I was talking about. They had to clear the ball out when they got the ball in their hand, because these conditions are not easy to pass around, run around. You will have to clear danger whenever danger is in front of your eyesight. We've seen it in the first half. The conditions hasn't got better, it has just got worse. And that was the knock forward. St. Anthony's will fancy themselves to do well with the scrum. Withanage with the ball in his hand, looking to feed this ball in. Withanage feeds it in, collects it out, will look to go centre. Here's the skipper Kodikar, thumping tackle from Thurstan, knocking the ball forward there, Kodikar. And they have got themselves out of danger, Kavint.
There was a good tackle coming in from the number 22, Nihad Sali. There you go. Kodikara was coming in that running angle. A short gap was open. If he had collected, he could have barged his way through, but slippery conditions. And this line out, this Kawani scrum is just outside the 22 meters of Thurstan, hence they can't kick this out on the full. It'll be interesting to see what they do. The number 8 breaks from the back. It's Ruchira Hishan, and inside taken from the back, and here's the ball being charged down. Good work, but the referee says the line was offside, hence Thurstan gets an opportunity. Another Alumex penalty in favour of will be feeding, and it's another 5-man line out. Referee has stopped play, probably because the ball has gone out of the ground.
Well, a bit of a breather for both the sides. As you can see, the Antonians are loosening themselves up, taking this breather. And still, both teams haven't managed to score since that opening 8 minutes. And
the team that's going to score next is going to have a huge advantage, and if they can kick and probably get a couple of penalties away as well, it will be really interesting come the last 20 minutes. We have around 29 minutes remaining. It's all tied up at 7-all, and both teams have looked to use their backs much more than the forwards. It should be the other way around. The forwards should be doing bulk of the work in these slippery conditions, and the Antonian Mall has delivered really well, but even in the first half they could not finish, and the finishing touches, if the Antonians can convert those good position of play into points, they'll have a huge advantage, because they lost against Sri Sumangala, and they have only one losing bonus point for in the plate, and this is a must-win game for both these teams. Even Thurstan, they played against the Thomians, and they won that game against the Thomians, and hence they have 6 points to show for themselves as well. And here's Senaratna to this 4-man line out, disrupted by Mohammad Danish at the front by the Antonians, but closing the gap is the ball from the referee. There you go. That's the signal, and he gives a free kick, and it will be Amindu Rajapaksha who will take this quick tap, give it to his forwards. Interesting decision because he had the opportunity to kick, and here's the ball being knocked on. It will be a knock on in favour of the Antonians. If that loose ball was collected, there was two players from Anthony's, and if the captain Kodikara could have collected it, there was a free run in this corner where they could have scored. But since Thurstan made the first mistake, there you go. On a normal day, you will take 9 times out of 10, but in this vital position for the Antonians.
Here's Vitanagi. And ball has been taken to the big man Jayasundar.
Alumex penalty, which they could have definitely converted and got the 3 points, but they haven't done so. They are looking to play fast running rugby, are the Antonians, and their game plan at the moment isn't working because their big forwards are doing really good. Hence the ball should be kept with the forwards. And here's Senaratna. He throws it, not collected. Not straight is the call from referee Fonseca, and the Antonians have the opportunity to take either a Rexona line out or a Cavani scrum. Interesting to see what the Antonians do.
Well, they have opted to go for the Cavani scrum here. Probably the right choice from the Antonians.
And a substitution has been made as well. Rashmika Dinujaya, the scrum half of Thurstan, has been taken out. And probably the little nippy scrum half who wears the number 9 jersey, Senath Pereira, has come in place of Dinujaya. Here's Vitanagi. He has the ball, gives it to the fly half. Here's Kodikara. He gives it to the back, the Ham Pereira, who has had little work. And there again, possession with the Antonians, and they have turned away and given away possession yet again. This is what has been the story in the first 10 minutes of the second half. The Antonians has had possession, but they have given away silly little penalties, and Thurstan are really lucky to not have conceded.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if this game ends in a 7-all draw, because both the teams not playing it smart, not playing it as per the conditions. Again, trying to run it through the wing. They are the Antonians, not easy to run through with the given wet field. And they've given possession just like that for the Thurstan Knights, and now the Thurstan Knights outside of the 22 have a line out throw. The previous line out throw was not straight, so this is the opportunity for Tarinder Senaratne to make amends of the mistake that he made a while ago. Here's Senaratne with the line out through. The referee Jivaka wanting to organize both teams this time. Again, not holding on, and Jayasundara was right underneath to collect that ball, and St. Anthony's will look to clear the lines as soon as possible.
There again, good counter coming in from Thurstan, but advantage being played in favor of the Antonians. The first penalty advantage coming in the second half for the Antonians. Coming in from the side is the call. Coming in from the side was the number 4, Yahan Navaratna, and this is the Papare, who has had very little ball. He is the one who orchestrated the Antonian backline in the first couple of games, and there again his kicks have been really good, but he has had really little ball in this game. Here's how the penalty occurred. Now the Antonians went to ground, and coming in from the side is the call from the referee, and it will be Lakwin Mantilaka to throw into this 6-man line out.
Well, Mantilaka has to get this right. 48 minutes up in our clock, just 22 minutes to go. Still 7-all. Both teams are making a whole lot of errors, not looking like they want to score. A good line out from Mantilaka, and here's the driving maul from the Antonians. We've seen how effective this has been for the Antonians throughout the season, and Mantilaka takes the ball, runs in front. St. Anthony's, they have to be patient here. They can't be looking to get the ball out, run it towards the wing, because that hasn't worked for them. They have to make use of their forwards. They had to make use of their packs, because the packs have been the strength. And look at Jayasundara go, barging through two men, taking them forward at least 2 to 3 meters. That is exactly what St. Anthony's have to look to do here. This time it's Tarnish. Can St. Anthony's somehow find a way to drag this Thurstan defense into a lot more dangerous position, and from there onwards to go over.
The Antonians need to be really patient here. They have played about 5 to 7 phases so far, and they need to get at least 10 more phases in this. Just inside the 22 meters goes Dinuka Jayasundara yet again. He has been the main ball carrier for the Antonians. There again, Ubet goes into contact with another pick and drop, and here's Mantilaka. He's been well marked by the Thurstan forwards. There again, ball out, penalty advantage for not. Here's Vitanage taking it quickly. Still on his feet is Vitanage, just meters away from the try line. It was a good decision to take that quick tap, and now they will need to go pick and go through the fringes. If the Antonians can score here, it will be huge.
Absolutely, and this is where Mantilaka, Netsara and Jayasundara will come into play. Just 7-8 meters away from the whitewash. The big men, the big packs of the Antonians will have a big role to play in these next few minutes. St. Anthony is inching forward here. Thurstan with some desperate defense, and St. Anthony slowly and steadily have taken themselves closer and closer to scoring another try, and it all started with a good decision made by Vitanage.
Advantage coming in.
And St. Anthony's have found a way to score their second Amana Bank try. And who else could it have been? It is Dinuka Jayasundar scoring his 7th try of the season.
Dinuka Jayasundar gets his sixth try of the league. Advantage was being played, and Dinuka Jayasundar, there you go, did brilliantly, and scores the second Amana Bank try of the game for the Antonians. A much needed try. 12 points. The Papare, can he convert the goal conversion? Hits the upright and doesn't convert. Will this be a vital 2 points come the end of the game? The Papare should have taken a little more time and put that goal conversion through. But from an Antonian point of view, this is the breakthrough try that they needed. They scored a try in the first half, but in the second half they have scored first. And the Antonians now need to keep very calm and play the game at their own pace, because when their big men have gone to work, they have kick with interest and takes play back to the 50-meter mark. The Antonians need to be patient here. They need to play patient rugby, because the forwards are doing a lot of the work and they are gaining here as well. Hence they need to keep the ball within the forwards. And it's another line out. It's another Rexona line out, a 4-man line out. This time collected by Thurstan. A couple of replacements coming in as well. Here's the number 20 giving it to the number 7, Ruchira Hishan, who's playing as the number 8. Here's the ball given out and not collected cleanly. Finally, the wing 3/4 takes the ball into contact. Thurstan have possession. Gives it to the captain, and another wayward pass leaves the ball behind us. Thurstan, they are just outside the 22 meters and kicks the ball straight into the breadbasket of the number 14 of the Antonians, and he looks to run and he's in space, weaving past a couple of players inside the 22 meters. Ball available. He placed it and he did not get back onto his feet. That is why they have the penalty, and it's taken quickly, and the referee Jivaka Fonseca correctly gives Thurstan another 10 meters, and the Antonians need to go back, and the referee will want to have a word with the captain as well.
Well, Johan Gunawardene wasn't really happy that the decision didn't go his way. He was having a word with the AR on why it was awarded, and he didn't make do anything wrong there. But then the referee Jivaka has made the right call. Thurstan have the opportunity to get out of danger territory and get themselves into a much more comfortable place.
Gains around 20 meters. Here's the run from the number 14 of the Antonians. Here's where the penalty was given. There you go. He placed it, did not get back to his feet, and that is why the penalty was given. And Thurstan have possession just inside their own half, and it's Tharind Senaratne this time overcooked, taken by the number 20, that's Abid Ubedrad, and he has possession, gives it to his wing 3/4. Here's Tanish gives it to his other flanker, Daham gives it to Johan Gunasekar, and he's been bundled into touch.
Well, a promising move from the Antonians, but couldn't really go past that defense of Thurstan, and he was dragged into touch, and still the Antonians do have the territory advantage. This is going to be a very crucial defensive line-out throw from Tharind Senaratne. He doesn't have any room to make mistakes here. Hasn't been the best day for Thurstan as far as line-outs are concerned. St. Anthony's have turned over a few, Thurstan have overcooked few, and this time
here again, not straight is the call, and hence St. Anthony's will have an opportunity for either a scrum or a line out, and they will go for the scrum because the line outs have been messy, as you pointed out, Kevin, and Thurstan have made a mess out of it. And initially it was Janaga Karunasinghe who was who Thurstan opted as the hooker, but he was taken out pretty quickly and replaced by Tharind Senaratne, and Senaratne has not had a good game, and Dinuka Jayasundara may have knocked the ball at the back of that scrum, but penalty advantage for holding on, and referee Jeevaka Fonseca awards it, and it will be Amidu Rajapaksha who will put this out, and it will be another line out coming, another Rexona line out for Thurstan if they can put this into touch. Amidu Rajapaksha's kicking has been brilliant so far in the game. He has definitely gained a lot of territory with his territorial kicking, and even with the penalties he has definitely at least gained 20 to 25 meters with each kick. And Thurstan, there you go. I initially thought Dinuka Jayasundara knocked it on there, but it was his boot that touched the ball, and that was why it went forward, and it was turned over brilliantly by the flankers of Thurstan. And now an opportunity for Thurstan. They are still inside their own half. They need to play their rugby inside the opposition half, as we have a slight held up in play.
Well, we've seen quite a few stoppages throughout the day, and this is one such stoppage. It gives the opportunity for both the teams to regroup before this line out. Just under 12 minutes to go as per our clock, but could be a lot more in the referee's clock, which is going to matter at the end. And just 5 points separating the two sides. St. Anthony's are failing to convert the previous try that they scored. Will that come back to haunt them? That'll be a big question mark, and as we suggested, or as we predicted, this is going to end up as a very, very closely contested encounter, and not a lot of points are going to be scored in the next 12 minutes. It could be a matter of 2 points separating the two sides. Here's Senaratne with the line out. This time Thurstan looking to run it. St. Anthony's can't afford to get, or rather let, Thurstan get into their half. They should bring in their A game as far as defense is concerned. Good work. Dragged out of touch. Brilliant from Johan Gunawardena there. Doing what is exactly needed from him at that moment. Because had Thurstan kept the ball in, they could have just built their play from there on, but Gunawardene doing ever so well to drag him out of touch along with the ball.
And substitutions for both teams. Nirmal Selheva has come in for the Antonians, replacing the hooker who was playing. It was Lakwin Mantilaka. And for Thurstan, they have replaced a couple of players as well. Rasanjana Nirmal, the original number 8, has returned to this pack of Thurstanites, and so has a second row. I probably think that's Akisha Pushpakumara. As Vithanage feeds in, has the ball at the back of the scrum, gives it to his fly half. Here's Kodikara. Kodikara decides to run. Good barging run from in, needs to release, and penalty. Good turnover. Initially thought he was the tackler, but by the looks of it, he was the tackler and had the rights to the ball. If we can take a look at a replay of that. And the clock has been stopped yet again for an injury. Here you go. Here's Kodikara taking the ball into contact. Tackler was all right and did not need to release. And was he supporting the body weight? And think he was. A good decision by the referee yet again. And it has been good work at ruck time from the Thurstanites, who have managed to pinch another penalty right inside their own half. But this penalty will definitely, they'll put it into touch for another Rexall and line out, because it's too far to get an Alumex penalty through the posts. It will be Amindu Rajapaksha yet again to kick.
Well, seems like we have a change in kickers for Thurstan, as Ahad Saleh has the ball in his hands. Will be looking to get some good meters with this touch finder. Takes play at least 15 meters in front. Here's the opportunity for Thurstan. Their lineouts hasn't been the best, but this time it has to be perfect. A try here will really put the hosts under pressure, knowing that they didn't convert the previous conversion. It wasn't the most difficult of conversions, and those kind of conversions missing could turn out to be costly at the end. Here's Senaratne with the line out throw. Can he do well here? No, he doesn't. St. Anthony's have turned it over, but knocked it forward in the process, and
the referee has awarded a penalty for closing the gap, and on offside call, it was very well pinched by Mohammad Tanish in the air, but the ball was knocked down by Vithanage, the scrum half of from the Anthonians, and that is why the penalty was given. And here's an opportunity after such a long time. Thurstan have come in to the territory of the Antonians. They need to go away with points here if they can, inside the 22 meters, and just 15 meters to go as Senaratne will throw in to this Rexona line out, and the number 19 goes in, collects it brilliantly, and here's the number 8 breaking, gives it back to his hooker Senaratne. He's been well managed and into touch, bundled into touch. Brilliant work from the Antonian forward pack. It was Mohammad Tanish who did the bulk of the work with Mohammad Ubaid, and brilliant work, and it's another line out in favor of the Antonians. Now St. Anthony's needs to be patient. They need to play their rugby in the opposition half, as the referee has a word with Saleh.
Well, a lovely coordination there from the Antonian defence, doing what was needed from them at that moment, and Thurstan will be feeling that they've let another opportunity go in when The clock is running down. It's at 61 right now, 9 minutes to go roughly. And St. Anthony's have a very crucial defensive line out throw coming their way. And the man who's on the ground doesn't seem to be really comfortable there. Hopefully he'll be up on his feet. Seems like a shoulder injury. Hopefully not a dislocation. Because if a dislocation does occur, and if it's his first time, we might see him out for at least a couple of weeks, Kavind.
Yeah, and an interesting point as well, because the discipline has been really good from both teams. There haven't been yellow cards, and penalties were given away, but good penalties were given away. Turnovers were done really, really nicely, and the discipline has been really, really good from both these teams, because they have not given away yellow cards, and it will be an Antonian Rexona line out to restart things. And if they do it correctly, they will take the line out and probably give it to the Pereira, who will thump it to touch probably, because they are inside the 22 meters. Hence they can kick it out on the full, and it's a 4-man line out this time from the Antonians. They have opted for, and another replacement coming in as well for Thurstan.
Well, while we wait for the line out to be taken, one thing that we saw, which is very pleasing to watch outside of the playing field, is that a lot of school boys have turned up in school uniform, and that is a pleasing sight wherever you go. You don't see that very often these days. Today being a Friday and a school day, Nittawela being very close to St. Anthony's. You've seen some good number of schoolboys turning out, and we hope that it continues. And the line-out throw is not so good from St. Anthony's. Thurstan have turned over position. They are in good territory. They will look to find a way to go over here.
Looking for a fringe drive, and does it really well. Dinuka Jayasundara has the man very well marked, but this time as well, the number 8 takes the ball into contact. He takes a couple of men to bring him down. It's another fringe attack from Thurstan. The Antonians have infringed and given away another penalty for Thurstan. And here's the number 9, Nipuna, gives it to the open side, gives it to Saleh. Saleh takes the ball into contact, and the number 10 has come in as well, Tenuko Viran. Ball available for Thurstan for another fringe attack, and they will go through the fringes yet again. Another pick and drop through the fringes, and 5 meters away from the try line. This time good defense from the Antonians, though they need to roll away. Does really well, does Thurstan, and another penalty advantage coming in for them. Here's Saleh, space opening up wide. Here's Viran, space, the number 24. He's been very well marked by the Antonians, and into touch, and the referee will bring back play to where the penalty occurred. The Antonians can't be affording to give away penalties right under the sticks as well. 2 penalties on the trot, and the referee, if the next penalty goes, will be definitely will be talking to the captain of the Antonians, and probably I might have jinxed it saying that there was no yellow cards. If the Antonians do infringe the next time, surely someone will be going to the bench as well. And an interesting choice from the Thurstanites. They have opted for a scrum, and there's little space on the blind side, even though there's a man position there.
A lot of damage control has to be done by the Antonians. Thurstan are in a very good position to attack and go over. Here's Pereira looking to feed the ball in, and he's not really happy with the Antonians. Not really allowing him to feed the ball in, and St. Anthony's, as I said, a lot of damage control has to be done. Just a lead of 5 points. A try here could may well be a winning try. Is it if it goes on to be converted. Here's Pereira with the feed in. St. Anthony's have to defend this. On the other hand, Thurstan will be looking to go over. Closer and closer they get. Can they score? Renamana bank try, which might just equalize things for them. Can't really see who's having the ball. And Thurstan, have they gone over? Yes, they have. Yes, they have. And Amana bank try just besides the post with a conversion to come. And St. Anthony's are under the pump here. Thurstan, they have equalized proceedings with a conversion to come.
Brilliant work from Thurstan. They got a line out inside the 22 meters, and after a couple of penalties away, they have gone in and scored. It is the big man Ruchira Hishan who has gone over, and it's an easy conversion, easy goal conversion for the number 12 Amindu Rajapaksha. If he puts this through, and he does, Thurstan are back in the lead after the first few minutes. 7 points all it was, and they have got back the lead, 14 points to 12.
When you concede that many penalties in your own territory, especially inside the 22-meter mark, you tend to give away tries, and that is exactly what has happened for the Antonians. They have roughly around 4 minutes to poach a comeback here at Nittawela. Not going to be easy, but they will have to find a way to score a try, or at least milk a penalty and kick it through the post. Here's
the difference was the Pereira's conversion that hit the posts. Will that come back and haunt the Antonians as the number 10 puts a big up and under, collected by Sali yet again, and he's been bundled into touch. Brilliant work from the Antonians. They need possession back. They need possession back. They need to get at least a couple of meters inside the 22 meters. And if they can do so, they will definitely, if they are patient, they will definitely get a penalty coming in their way as well. They have 3 minutes more on our clock, but it's the referee's clock that matters. Here's a 6-man line out for the Antonians collected, and at the back, and penalty. Need to take it quickly. The number 9 does not. They will go for the 3 points, or will they go for the touch?
Well,
and the coaching staff, I think, says go to the line, and there again they will go to the line just inside the 22 meters. They need possession. They need to be calm. The new hooker for the Antonians is Nirmal Sellaheva. He needs to get this right, and another front rower has joined the Antonians line as well. Sharan Jayatunga wearing that number 4 jersey.
Well, a massive line out throw coming in the context of this game. 2 minutes to go as per our clock. A line out throw inside the 22. St. Anthony's have been good with their mauls, though they haven't always found their way towards the whitewash. Can Sellaheva do justice for the replacement that was made? Can he get a good line out throw in? Yes, he does. Here's the maul. St. Anthony's with possession. The maul has
well sacked by Thurstan, and the Antonians have possession. Here's Sharan. He tries to get away. Thurstan need to roll away. Ball available. Penalty advantage in favor of the Antonians. They will put this into touch. Definitely put this into touch. And the referee will want to have a word with his the Thurstan captain. This is the second infringement, and it was legally sacked. Was it?
Well, away from our screens, we saw Pereira putting the ball into touch, and this time he does the right thing. He doesn't just look to put the ball out, but he tries to gain some meters with that touch finder. But seems like he will have to take it again because the referee had stopped his clock and it has been switched on again, and Pereira well again, just 6 meters away from the in-goal area are the Antonians. A good line out throw, a solid driving maul will do the job for the Antonians. Here's El Heva with a crucial line out throw, does well. Here's the Antonians with their maul, which has worked for them, but Thurstan holding on to it. St. Anthony's have found a way to gain some meters here. Can they add the finishing touch? This is the opportunity that they were looking for. They wouldn't get a better opportunity. Thurstan has to see this off. 2 points separating both the sides. St. Anthony's, the last time they scored a try, they were patient, and that is exactly what they have to be here as well. Be patient, take the ball, go with your forwards. You will get your penalties. You will get your way towards the try line.
They need to take this quickly. Does the Antonians? Here's an opportunity. The number 8, Tarnish, takes it, needs to release. More inches away from the try line. Dinuka Jayasundara from the back of that ball, and he's gone ever so closely. Here's the Antonians. They need knocked on. The ball has been knocked on. What have you done? It was the number 1 from St. Anthony, Shevin Netzara. A touch to Eager. The counter ruck from Thurstan came in pretty heavily as well. And from the back of that scrum, probably the last play of the game, Thurstan have to turn things around. Clock off is what is signaled. The referee wanted to have a word. And a scrum inside the 22 meters, inside the red zone. They only need to take this and put it into touch. Thurstan, if they do manage to win this, this is the second victory in the played segment. And for the Antonians, if Thurstan do manage to win, that's their second loss on the trot. Here's the number 9, feeds it, ball available at the back. Good work, number 8 takes the ball into contact. Ball available, needs to release. The Antonians do so. Ball available at the back of that ruck for Thurstan. There's no way they are going to counteract, and now they do so. Antonians need men at the ruck. They need to counteract. Probably get a knock on from the Thurstanites as well. And here's the ball being given to the number 10. Saleh puts it into touch, and that will be the game done and dusted. Thurstan from trailing 12 points to 7 for about 30 minutes have come in from behind, and they have won here at Nittawela. Just 2 points the difference. Brilliant work from Thurstan to come back from behind, and the Antonians have only themselves to blame because they have had all the opportunity to score, but they have not succeeded. Thurstan have got their second win of the plate.
Well, a massive result for Thurstan here at Nittawela. And this is the time where we choose our Swiss Tech player of the match. The game was so close that we had to drag this long, and it is none other than Amidu Rajapaksa. What a hand he played in this game, culminating that win towards Thurstan with his kicking prowess. And Thurstan, after beating St. Thomas's in the opening round, have beaten St. Anthony's in the second round, and St. Anthony's will be really disappointed. Could have been a very easy win for them had they made use of the opportunities, and even in the dying seconds they were ever so close to the try line before knocking that ball forward, and also they will be disappointing in missing that conversion as well. Nevertheless, Thurstan have got themselves a very famous win here at Nittawela, a win that will give them so much confidence and will give them a big boost heading into the plate segment. 12 points, or rather 11 points on the board for Thurstan, and this is the full-time confirmation. Thurstan 14, St. Anthony's 12, a very closely contested encounter, and Thurstan coming up victorious in the end.
And what a game the number 12 Amidu Rajapaksha has had, and he has converted a couple of kicks, and he has put away the penalties as well, and he has been the rock that has stood for Thurstan in the middle, even though it was slippery conditions. Amidu Rajapaksha, the number 12, the first centre of Thurstan, gets our Swiss Tech player of the match for his performance with his kicking and defensive effort. Brilliant victory for Thurstan. They have come in from behind. Here are the key stats of the game. St. Anthony's 2 tries, 1 conversion, and ThePapare will be ruining his opportunity to get that conversion. He hit the upright. It was that close, and if ThePapare had put that through, it surely would have ended 14 points apiece. And Thurstan 2 tries, 2 conversions is how the game ends. 14 points to 12. Thurstan have come back from behind and defeated the Antonians here at Nittawela. And here are the upcoming fixtures. We have St. Peter's taking on Zaira. That's at the Petright grounds. And Isipatana taking on Royal. That's the Major Milroy Trophy. That's at Havelock Park. Isipatana hosting. And the game from Kandy, Sri Sumangala taking on Anand at Trinity College grounds at Pallekele. That's tomorrow. And we have Mahanama taking on Kinsud in the bowl segment in the Anand College grounds, and Lumbini taking on Science on the 7th at Havelock Park as well.
Well, a crucial win for Thurstan here at Nittawela, away from home, travelling all the way from Colombo, beating St. Anthony's, and St. Anthony's have lost 2 games in a row. One against Sri Sumangala 2 weeks prior, one against Thurstan here today at Nittawela. And I said before, our Swiss Tech player of the match was Amidu Rajapaksha. And now with that, we come to an end of our live broadcast here from Nittawela. A lot more action left in the week, especially in the cup segment. And with all that, Sri Lanka's number 1 sports channel, ThePapare, will come back to wherever you are very soon.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Love rugby,
live rugby.
Prima Kotumi, fun tamai.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Introducing new Air Action Mentos, the peak of freshness. Mentos, yes to fresh.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Saratana enjoy karana party ekata go.
Night Go Pocket Perfume. Youth එකට go එකක්.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Love rugby.
Live rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Pantamare.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි. නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි. නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Rugby.
Live rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Pantamare.
Introducing new Air Action Mentos, the peak of freshness. Yes to fresh.
Perfectly. Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් quotation එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Let's KFC. Making moments special. Most value for money from KFC.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි Dettol Icy Cool.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
එතකොට මහත්තයාරුනේ ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් ග්‍රවුට් වෝටර්ප්‍රූෆින් ස්කිම් කොට් නේ.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි? අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Summer refresh when the train ekata go.
Night Go Pocket Perfume. Youth එකට go එකක්.
Hey, I'm a hella ball on the class ekata go.
Black Night Go Pocket Perfume. Youth එකට go එකක්.
When the world says no access.
Or this is not for you.
And it can't be done. Just say, I can. Pure, naturally healthy American water. Live more.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සහතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් quotation එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
Love rugby.
Live rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Pantamare.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න. ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
Built for every season. Customizable. Lightweight. Made to last beautifully. Alumex fencing system.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි. නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න. ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Higher inverter air conditioner. Be chilled in any heat moment. Higher inverter refrigerators. What a spectacular catch.
Introducing the 2025 TVS Apache RTR 204V.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න. ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි. නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Pain can pause your active life. Get the all-new Woo Pain Relief Spray for fast, long-lasting pain relief.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Introducing new Air Action Mentos, the peak of freshness. Yes, too fresh.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
Captain Cool, Captain Cool, Captain Cool. අව්ව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි ඩෙටෝල් අයිසි කූල්.
වාජ්‍ය සේවක ඔබට සුවිශේෂී දීමනාවක් ඕනෑම ස්මාර්ට්ෆෝන් එකක් මාස 12න් ටික ගෙවන්න ගන්න. අවම මූලික ගෙවීම රුපියල් 6550 සිට ඔබ ළඟම බාන්ස් එකට යන්න.
For passion, a competitive spirit is for the night owls, the hard workers. It's for those who do and want to keep doing. Right, real energy.
Built to withstand every season. Modern designs, elegant finishes, made to match your style. Alumex handrails.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Stand by for opener.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
3, 2, 1, roll.
ඉතින් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංකික ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare සමග.
Welcome back to ThePapare.
Welcome to the live broadcast on ThePapare.
luck, guys. Good luck, everyone.
The Papare, Sri Lanka's #1 television sports channel.